On January 28th, I'll be boarding a plane to New York City, Germany, Singapore, and finally Denpasar, Indonesia. I'm going to the island of Bali. After the 36 hours of flying and layovers, I meet the other 15 students from America in the airport, board a van, and drive 3 hours to the north side of the island to a place called the Palace. With the 12-hour time difference, that'll make it 48 hours from the time that I boarded my first plane. After speaking with the past study abroad students, I discovered this palace has no showers and what they call a squatty potty, or a hole in the ground and some ridges where you're supposed to put your feet. There's also a bucket and a basin to rinse off your body. I talked with Catherine Hazelin, who went there a couple of years ago, and she told me, don't get in the basin, that's just for the water. Apparently a past student decided to crawl in the basin. After the first orientation week at the palace, we're traveling farther south down the island of Bali to the Dulid. Here's a village where we meet our homestay families in the program center. We'll spend the next several months traveling around the island, visiting Java, and experiencing a culture that I cannot even imagine. What is the point? Well, the program is called Arts, Religion, and Social Change. We will be exploring the culture of Bali and experiencing the religious rituals of Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, and Christians. Most likely, I will be living with a Hindu family. For Americans, this is scary, especially growing up in the South, where I've always been told, surround yourself with Christians so that you may grow in your faith and that you will not stray. However, I'm really excited to be around people that are different from myself. As a religion major, I enjoy learning the background of religions, the history, and the effect that religion has on a person's life. Whether I agree with the religion or not, it gives me a different perspective, and I know the need to respect different religious beliefs. By living with a Hindu family, I hope they will learn as much from me as I will from them. A first verse I wanted to bring up is Romans 14:73, which says, so let's stop condemning each other. Decide instead to live in such a way that you will not cause another believer to stumble and fall. Well, they probably don't believe in Jesus, but I don't want to be a poor example of a Christian. They probably feel towards me as I do to them, confused and scared. I may be the first Christian they ever meet. The final 4 weeks, I will be doing an independent study project. I can travel or stay wherever I want to please, as long as I have a final goal in mind. Currently, I plan on spending this time with the children. What my project will be, I do not know, but I'm counting on God to lead me in the direction of my project. The program center said what to expect. They wrote up a little thing for us, and it says, one of the goals of our program is to provide you with the tools to expand your perspectives on the world, to develop your ability to understand how other people see the world, and to appreciate issues faced by people in a country very different from your own. Your semester abroad will also give you an opportunity to examine your own perspectives as you discover other ways of seeing and experiencing life. Scary. Along with all this travel, I'll be taking language courses on Bahasa Indonesian, attending lectures at the local university, and spending time with my homestay family. This entire trip will give me 16 hours of college credit transferred directly to Wofford, as well as credits towards my major. More than the college credit, I'm excited about the experience. Most of my friends from Wofford left yesterday to go to Europe. In fact, 7 of my friends boarded the same plane headed towards London, England, and 2 more went to France, all together. I'm flying alone and going with 15 students from across America that I've never talked to a third world country. I didn't realize how third world it really is until I had to get an immunization titled Japanese encephalitis. To be honest, it's not the 2 days of flying that scares me. The chance of missing a flight in Singapore, the expected sickness from the food, the lack of a shower, or even the unknown language. It is knowing no one in the country, halfway across the world and on the other side of the equator. And for this moment, I just want to turn to a little Bible passage. And it's about Jesus walking on the water. And it says, immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. And later that night, he was there alone. And the boat was already a considerable distance from the land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. And when the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. It's a ghost, they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, take courage, it is I, don't be afraid. Lord, if it's you, Peter replied, tell me to come to you on the water. Come, he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, Lord, save me. Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. You have little faith, he said. Why did you doubt? And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, truly you are the Son of God. I may not be walking on water, but I'll be walking in the land where without my faith I would surely fall. Thank you.